Hi, my name is Sam J., the writer and performer of My Dead Dad. Here's a few tips on how I took my autobiographical stand-up material and turned it into a one-person play. The first thing I did was look at all of my jokes that I'd done that were personal to me, that were either one-liners, could be short jokes, or even premises or stories. The next thing that I did was kind of change my mindset a little bit. As a stand-up comedian, you want a certain amount of laughs per minute, and if you don't get those laughs, it feels like you're bombing and everyone hates you. That's the feeling, I know. But in a solo show, you can kind of take a breath a little bit because the audience is there to go on a ride. They're going on a journey. They're going through the emotions with you. It's a deeper experience, and it's understood that you don't have to be as jokey. I mean, it's good to start off with some jokes and then kind of transition into something deeper, which is how I sort of structured my show before I got to the I guess more sad part about my father getting cancer. I started with funny stories about my dad. I grew up terrified of my father. One of my father's things that he would say to me whenever I got in trouble was, "I brought you into this world and I can damn sure take you out of it." Wait, Dad! Let's talk about this! Let's talk about this! The next tip would be to take out jokes. I put like I said, compile all your jokes and put it in. I put everything in, and I realized there were pieces in the story that that the jokes were undercutting the significance of the moment. And I didn't realize that until I was rehearsing it, and I had a scene about my dad finding out that he had cancer and telling my family about it, and I had a punchline after, and I realized that the punchline was sort of cheapening the emotional impact of that moment. So just understand that jokes can also kind of distract in a way from what you're trying to tell. In the sort of second piece of that advice is that if you have, 5 minutes of very emotional and heavy material in your solo show, you have a power called a punchline that can release that tension. And you can feel when the audience is very thankful that you gave them a little joke after there was a very heavy moment where they're sort of sitting in and feel heavy, and a punchline comes in, they're like, "Yes, thank God." Like, you, as a performer on stage, you can feel that moment. The last tip for taking your stand-up material and turning it into a one-person show would be to look at stand-up comedians that have done one-person shows and see how they have done it. John Leguizamo's Latin History for Morons was a really good inspiration for me while I was writing the show. And I think that helped a lot, was just seeing a lot of solo shows and figuring out how you want to do it, what style resonates with you. That's the best thing that I did.